she was in the wrong one, and some children struggled to accept that she was a girl. A few had to be educated with what became our stock refrain: girls can look and act all kinds of ways. But it didn't take long for them to understand and accept her. They got it. One day in first grade, she came home and announced that she was a tomboy. "That's a girl who has short hair and likes sports," she informed me, smiling widely, passing on the definition that someone in her class, I still don't know who, had provided. A tomboy? That word, the idea, had never occurred to me. But at its mention, I thought back to the 1970s, to the many tomboys in the various schools I attended, and on the playgrounds I frequented in upstate New York, Georgia, and western Massachusetts, the three main places I spent my childhood. Even I, a non-tomboy who craved the Barbies my feminist mom wouldn't let me have and coveted the frilly, fancy clothes of wealthier girls, had short hair and wore striped turtlenecks and corduroys most of the time. So did the other little girls. So did the little boys. Tomboys were in my favorite TV shows and movies as a kid. From Laura Ingalls on Little House on the Prairie to Joe Polnicek on The Facts of Life, who sported a leather jacket, talked tough, and fixed her own motorcycle. Otherwise known as the coolest girl ever, and the one even straight girls had crushes on. They were the heroines of America's most beloved works of literature, from Jo March and Little Women to Scout Finch and To Kill a Mockingbird. These tomboys, admired by both boys and girls, were precocious, outspoken, and unbeholden to the silent or explicit rules of gender around them. They often adopted male nicknames like both Joes or Frankie from Carson McCullers' The Member of the Wedding. They rejected feminine fashion or anything that could be labeled fashion at all. They were athletic and played primarily, or at least partially, with boys. And they played like boys. That is, they were interested in pursuits that American society had labeled as masculine, from baseball to tree climbing. They behaved differently than many of the other girls, which made them compelling and complex. It's what made them heroines. In fact, tomboys were once so beloved that many adult women who probably weren't particularly tomboyish claimed to have been tomboys. An early 1970s study found that 78% of college women said they were tomboys growing up. More recent studies show that between a third and half of adult women say they were childhood tomboys. A huge decline, but still a strong showing. The word tomboy is found in or borrowed by over 40 non-English languages, and more than 40 others have their own version of it. Garçon manque, failed, lost, or missing boy, in French. Wildfang, little rascal, or domesticated wild animal, in German. Kim Jong-un's little sister, Kim Yo-jong, has been described as sweet but with a tomboy streak. Legions of famous and important women have heralded their tomboy pasts. Janet Jackson, Keira Knightley, Ava Gardner, Martina Navratilova, Reese Witherspoon, Joan Collins, Robin Roberts, Hillary Rodham Clinton, and Jean Jennings, one of the first women in computer coding, all said they were tomboys growing up. Vanessa and I were both what we call tomboys. That is, we played cricket, scrambled over rocks, climbed trees, were said not to care for clothes, and so on, Virginia Woolf said. Cher credited her miraculously enduring physique to her tomboy past. "You have to work out, but thank God I always was a tomboy, so I don't mind doing it," she told People in 2018. Dolly Parton, arguably the most feminine human on the face of the earth, a tomboy. Belinda Carlisle, Julia Child, Lupita Nyong'o. It seemed like they were everywhere when I was a kid in the 70s. These feisty, pigtailed or short-haired girls in dungarees and t-shirts, playing ball, scraping knees, and getting their hands dirty. A kid like mine might have gone unremarked among them. But tomboys were so uncommon among my daughter's crowd in 2015 that I hadn't even conjured the term from my memory. When the word did re-enter my life, I didn't bother to critique it. Why, I would ask later, use a word with boy to describe a sporty, independent-minded girl?